Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Sachin Education Hub in English. Friends, today we will discuss a very simple and a easy question, that is ethical practices that are important on the part of conserving the natural resources. When we are considering the subject social and business ethics, then it is also the chapter in this case. And the main question behind is ethical practices that are related to environment. Ethical practices that are important on the part of conserving the natural resources. So you just have to understand this video for the 5 minutes. You easily understand this concept right now. So coming to the very first point, that is a 3R. Very common and very important point is 3R. That means reduce, reuse and recycle technique. If we reduce your wastages, if you reuse your items, or if you recycling the material, then you automatically reducing your new resources need. It means your new resources demand, or the demand for new resources will automatically be reduced if we do these type of three techniques in our daily life. So first ethical practices is regarding the 3R. That means reduce the wastages, reuse the items and recycle the various type of materials, so that the demand for new resources will be less or will be reduced in the coming time, and the environmental resources or the natural resources will be conserved very easily. So first one is the 3R. So coming to the second one point, that is use of sustainable resources. What are sustainable resources? That means that means use the resource sustainably that are sustainable for the environment. What it means? It means you can say that if we if you have a water, if you have a fossil fuels, or if you're using the timber, then use these all type of resources very carefully today, very responsible in a very responsible manner. Why? Because they are depleting over a time. They are depleting very earlier over a time. They are destroyed very earlier. They are destroying very soon. So you have to understand the usage of these things in today's world. So please carefully manage these type of resources and sustainably use that resources, so that your environment will be go safe and your natural resources will be conserved. Okay, coming to the third one. Next point is that is related to the energy conservation. Today energy consumption is also the major issue in the natural resources, because the natural resources are also the main important problem behind that is energy consumption. So energy conservation is important regarding the energy consumption. Why? You can say that reduce the energy consumption with the use of energy efficient appliances, lighting bulbs, or many other devices that are regarding to the renewable energy resources like solar energy, wind power, or you can say that use that type of resources that are consuming very less energy. Because whenever you are using less energy, it will help the natural resources to be depleted not over a time, or your natural resources will not be depleted over a time, or it will be conserved for the longer period of time. So you can say that reduce your consumption regarding the energy. It will help lot of people, it will help your environment, or this is the main ethical practices behind the conservation of natural resources as well. So now coming to the another point, that is regarding to the promotion of environmental education. My first question is, why you are all reading the subject environmental studies? I know very well there are a lot of students that are not focusing on this type of subject. They are just taking it as an exam purpose and just reading it and writing in the exam for the purpose of passing, right? But why this subject at the university level as well? Why the universities are also taking the exam on this subject as well? This is very important on the part of university, or this is also in on the part of government or the various type of studies, because today we are at the shortages of the natural resources. So we all have to understand this concept very well. Why we understand, why we focus on these things? Because natural resources are depleting very uh, soon, or they are depleting in coming generation, or it will be very difficult for the coming generation to be live longer if the natural resources not be conserved today. So it is important on the part of environmental education that it should be studied in various type of schools, universities, and it should be studied in that way, so that awareness will be increased, understanding will be increased on the part of human activities, and they will focus or take an action on the conservation of the natural resources. Okay, so this is the important part. Coming to the support, next point is coming to the next point, that means support conservation organization. Support conservation organization, these are also the important type of organizations in today's world that are majorly focused on these type of environmental issues. So here the growth of these type of organization also helps in conserving the natural resources, because these are the organizations that protect the various type of habitats in the country, that protect that preserve the various endangered species, or promote the various sustainable practices. So you can say that once the organization doing that type of things, it will be easy to conserve the natural resources. Next point is sustainable agriculture. Agriculture is the important thing for the Indian country and many other countries as well, but the major source for the Indian country, right? So their conservation is also important. You can say that sustainable agriculture is important today. Use various type of techniques for the sustainability of the agriculture, like crop rotation, conservation tillage, or use of various type of natural resources, so that agriculture will be sustainably used, not depleting various type of resources very soon. So it will helping in it will help in doing getting the more and more production, or it will help in producing the more production in future, or also it will be focus, it will be the great focus of the people on the sustainable agriculture. Natural resources will be conserved very easily once the agriculture will be sustainably used by using the various type of technique like crop rotation and various other like natural resources. So this is another ethical practices. Coming to the second last point, that is regarding to the reducing of water usage. Water usage is also the important issue in today's world, because there are a lot of people that are not aware in the usage of water or a shortage of water. So please use this water very carefully in today's world, because there is a shortage of water in many parts of the world as well. So use the methods like low flow shower heads, fixing the leakage. If anyone see the leakages in the water supply, please do it, take it a very correct action very soon to reduce this water leakages, or the to reduce this water usage extra without any need. And make the various type of watering lawns as well in the early morning and the late evening, because the temperature are very cooler in that time. So it will also help you to reduce the water usage. Once the water usage will be reduced, it will also conserve the natural resources. Okay, so coming to the very last point, that is regarding to the conservation efforts. Participation in the conservation efforts. There are a lot of volunteer educational organizations, environmental educational organizations, that are majorly focused on the environmental conservation. Environmental conservation, it means resources should be conserved. The main focus of these institutions or organization is on the conserving resources. So you can say that there are a lot of organization in the today's world that are voluntarily focusing on the these type of conservations, or voluntary focus on the environment to conserve the various type of natural resources. So once we participate in the conserving efforts, it will also help in conserving the resources by participating in the habitat restoration projects, by participating or advocating the various sustainable policies, and by advocating the various sustainable practices. So these are the things that automatically conserve the various type of resources if we focusing on the environment very carefully and maintaining the environment very carefully.